Hello. Hello, friends. I almost didn't do it. But then I did. So Trio, I'm in the chat. I did do it. I'm gonna be away from home tomorrow until next Wednesday. So I thought I gotta do at least as much as I can, right? And then I'm proving to myself that maybe I'll do it when I get back. And if I do it when I get back, then when I get back, it's forever. And that is a fact. So me going live tonight is actually me committing to this for the rest of my life. Actually, we have to pop this guy open. I'm just gonna grab these from our stream last night. And it's actually just, we can keep the same thing. 100-hour stream is starting now, and it's not gonna stop until 100 hours, hence the name. Right, but today we're continuing from where we were last night with... Oh no. Wait, I just need to make another layer. Continue with our friends. Drell Freely. That's him. And Funry. I might know Funry's last name, but I don't really know it yet, so I'm not going to say it out loud. Swing Beats. Hi, Mr. Streamer. Can you get our Rucker from the hit game Deadlock? Of course, that's how I start and end every day. But first, I need to doodle these guys. So if you weren't here yesterday, or if you were, and you don't remember what was happening, or you tuned in late, whatever, these are characters of mine that I have a couple of projects that I want to work on for, but basically they're characters that I actually have a story that I want to tell. And I'm working on designing them so that they fit the narrative that I'm trying to push, that they are matching the personalities that I imagine them to have. And I think these guys look pretty good together. The only thing they need is just some reps of drawing them over and over so that they can start to, I don't know, settle. I find it very difficult to design a character and have them just look right the first time. I think you gotta keep mashing on it. So I'm just gonna do some funny little things. Try not to take it too seriously. Well, a favorite character from Heroes Evolved is very difficult to choose. Mainly because I can't remember the name of that little creature with the funny name. I'm just thinking of like Slogdingle Leelock, but that's Secret Mountain Fort awesome. The Funner I've drawn a bunch of times. I've posted her on Twitter a lot. But I don't think she's really been fitting exactly the story I want to tell. Like the way I draw, I don't think I can imagine in the world as much. And I'm losing my train of thought all over the place. I couldn't figure. It was mainly a personality and proportions thing that I couldn't quite get right, because the game and comic and whatever it actually ends up turning into is a very silly thing, a very silly world. I don't think she was living up to her cartoon girl fantasy. So I want to try and stick with similar proportions to this, which is very cutesy and cartoony. And then her personality that I'm trying to nail down is one that is chill. She's laid back. I think this half-lidded eye might be a solid default for her to run, just for a basic smile. But she's not laid back in the way that she is unfazed by everything that happens around her. So her expressions, they will have a bit more variation. You know, she still gets especially happy or surprised or angry or whatnot. That'll change things. Silver, what's up? Misread Funry is furry for a second. Is Funry a furry? That is a question. So far, not specifically. But why would I write that out of the question? So maybe. I don't have a persona in mind. A platypus? I don't think I've actually ever seen someone identify with platypus. But I'm not deep. I'm not deep in there. Obviously it's happened. I think Perry the Platypus has taken over a lot of the real estate of platypuses in general in media. Because I'm trying to think of a second notable one, and I guess maybe Platypuck. Platypuck. What is that, from Pal World? No, that's from Dragon Quest, of course. That's kind of a platypus. They got platypus over by you guys. I think they probably once did have lots of platypus roaming around Michigan, but they've died out. Probably overhunting, if I had to guess. But I believe our state bird is the platypus, so they had to be here at some point. Wonder if Pokemon has ever had a platypus. I don't think they have. Where's this new generation taking place? Is it Platypus Country, Michigan? Who the fuck hunting platypus? I don't know. But I would never lie. Do they even have a lot of meat? I don't know. You could tell me they have no meat and I would believe you. What was their tail made of? I don't know about meat, but I know they can poison you or something. So it could be like harvesting the poison for maybe pranks or similar antics. Yes, platypus are poisonous. I know they have a little hook in their hand. Like a platypus, you know how they're like shaped like this? Probably fatter than that. And then they've got bills. They've got the tail. And then they have flippers. And I think they have like a hook right there. And I think they poison you with it. W Platypus. Can I get W Platypus in chat for this platypus? One of the stronger ones I've drawn. Dangerous lads. Yeah, I don't know if it's like human killing poison, but I imagine it's not like human pleasing. Yeah, they got beaver tails, they got bills, they're poisonous, they lay eggs, they're mammals. They've got it all. They're truly the whole package. Speaking of the whole package, I do think one goal I have as a creator with a character like Funry is I do want at least some members of my audience to be attracted to her. I want people to have crushes on my characters. I think that's an important thing. Look what that's done for Gameoverse. Gameoverse is cool, but what do you hear most people talk about when it comes to Gameoverse? And that's something I actually struggled with for a while. A few years ago, it was important to me that my characters were like, I liked drawing cartoons. I was like, but I want my characters to still be kind of sexy. And I thought that was, those two things ran against each other. But clearly, that is me being dumb, because people certainly like cartoon characters quite a lot. What do they talk about? They just talk about Kit and how she has big boobs. I've never noticed hashtag I respect women. Respecting women does include never acknowledging them or how they look. And I'd say you're kind of a hero for that. Can't tell, I have no idea what I want to do with her arms. Still playing fighting games these days? I am. Right now, if I was to boot something up right now, I'd probably be running Street Fighter. I'm playing Ingrid. I was playing a ton of 2XKO when the patch came out. I think that game is really fun right now. I've settled into playing Caitlyn Jinx after pretending that I wasn't going to do that for a while. But I'm an ADC player. I love Caitlyn and Jinx. I'm a basic guy. That's always where I was gonna end up. I'm very excited for Avatar. Avatar, I'm following up being a pretty basic person. I'm definitely interested in playing Azula, because she is awesome. I imagine a lot of people are gonna want to play Azula, but she just looks like the sickest character so far. I played Korra in the first playtest. I thought she was awesome. I played Toph in the second one because she was new. And Toph is really cool. I could also see myself playing either of them. Toph probably a little bit more likely than Korra, just because Toph is kind of unique. She's very different than pretty much any character I've played, with her weird wall and her heavy punch being a projectile if you're on the wall and stuff. She's really, really neat. I'm loving Street Fighter again, though. I was saying, I've been playing Ingrid, but I didn't play Street Fighter much for quite a while. When 2XKO came out, I was very much looking forward to 2XKO, and I was very much getting tired of Street Fighter 6 and all of its things. Everyone knows the things that are annoying about Street Fighter 6. You know, it's a very, especially at a mid-level, that game feels very much like repeating some reaction checks over and over again sometimes. And it kind of got old, but then when things get old, sometimes I'll just stop and then I'll realize, oh, it was still cool. And that's where I am right now with Street Fighter. I do kind of hope things change when that balance patch comes around, but I just wish that with the death of World Tour content, we would have gotten more than 4 characters a year. Yeah, I think that's the first thing I said in our local FGC Discord is, I'm glad just because they're canceling World Tour content doesn't mean they'll be giving us more content any faster. Did I try Invincible Versus? I did. And I liked Invincible Versus quite a bit, actually. I played a good amount of it. I played it at Combo Breaker. I didn't do very well, but I played it. I really like Invincible, and I think the game is quite fun, but there's some stuff. There's definitely some stuff that is, especially at launch. I haven't really played since they patched it, but I'd say it was an adversarial game at sometimes. I also did not do myself any favors, because before I knew how good characters were in that game, I picked Monster Girl and Duplicate. And I think Duplicate is pretty good. A lot of people think she's bad. I think she's pretty good, and there were 2 of them in Top 8 at Combo Breaker. However, Monster Girl is one of the worst fighting game characters I've ever played. At launch, I know they did some stuff. She keeps momentum with her dash and things now. Maybe she's a bit better, but oh my god, that character sucked. appraisal, OMG, my favorite streamer is live. I'm flattered. What are my headcanons for Funry? It's a good question. One thing, I have a couple of, I have a lot of things bouncing around in my head for her, but one thing, I imagine that she is very, like, I'm trying to think of how to say it. You know how when you have stuff in your head and you you gotta actually express just thoughts into actual words for the first time. It's a little tough. But I think so much of her life is pretty mundane, which kind of the whole point. I was talking about it yesterday, is that her life is really normal, to contrast with the content of the story and her job and stuff being wild. But I think she probably still lives at home. She has a pretty good relationship with her parents. Not a lot of conflict there. I think conflict is going to come from some sort of self-realization. Just like she's going to come across some reason to, for the first time, want more. If that makes sense. And I don't know exactly what that means. I have some ideas bouncing around. But I suppose when I get around to writing, that'll sort of be the whole story. So I'm sure you guys will get to figure that out when I get around to getting it to a point you can enjoy. You have to feel how bad Monstro was the moment you played. Yeah. An issue I have in every fighting game, and I don't think it's necessarily an issue all the time, sometimes it's good, but anytime I play any character in a fighting game or not a fighting game, I just assume I am doing something wrong and this character is good. I just need to get good enough to figure out what it is. And Monster Girl is one of the few characters that broke me for that. I played quite a lot of her, and eventually I just started to think maybe she doesn't have a secret overpowered thing going on. Maybe she's just not very good. I kind of had that mindset with the entire game of Multiverses when it first came out. Because when it, if you've played Multiverses or if you were on the internet, people generally are like, they slowed this game down. This game feels bad. This game doesn't look very good. Everyone hated it. And when I played it, I thought, yeah, this game doesn't feel very good and it feels slow. And there is something there, though. There is something where I was like, if I keep playing this, something is going to click and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how you actually move. I'm going to figure out how you actually whiff punish. I'm going to figure out how this game actually works. And then I played 50 hours of Multiverses, and I didn't really enjoy it, but I just thought that there was something I was missing. But I think that's just what the game was. I think the game was just not very good. But I believed for a while. For a while, I gave it a real shot. I was into Multiverses until they removed my Perfect Silver LeBron mod. It's never the same. Hopefully they have that in whatever community edition of the game. I don't remember what it's called. Moving Platypus over here. We need to make sure we don't just draw Funry today, because I've already drawn some Funry today. We need to make sure Drell is in the picture too, because he is much less explored, and he is a very central character to what the story of the comic version of this story will be, which is focused on her. But the game itself, you play as him. The game is called Drell Freely, so he's pretty important. Hello, King. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Drell Freely. Let's move some things around. I think for this first one, I'm gonna do just another pretty standard standing pose. McFella, the classic, crowd favorite. Everyone drop a hey guys for McFella. What kind of music would Drell and Funry listen to? I think Drell probably has a constant soundtrack in his head of at all times of like noir detective, old school, black and white. So that I don't know. Wait, what is that music? I don't think it's just that sad detective music. I can't think of the words right now. Funry likes pop. Funry likes popular things. Probably sad Hulk music, yeah. I think generally sad Hulk music is probably how I would describe it. I think Funry likes pops. I think Funry likes girl groups. I think she has a pretty upbeat music taste. And just like dark jazz. Dark jazz paints a picture, I'll say. I was also saying yesterday, I actually have to figure out how his hair works. Because usually when I'm drawing Drell in the past, his hair has just been like this. Which sort of gets an idea across, but it's actually just squiggly lines that I don't really know how to color or draw from different angles or do anything at all with. His favorite John Coltrane album? I would love to have the knowledge base to answer that. But here we are. I'd like to ask what maybe his favorite song off of Pre-Pleasure is. Abrams is a really good idea for a place to draw a reference for this guy. For some reason I didn't think about that, but I mean, I guess I take a lot from like Commissioner Gordon and stuff, but I mean, come on, these detective characters are doing they're rocking pretty similar looks. It's a classic. think I want him, like, hands in his pockets. And maybe facing the camera. His head down a bit, maybe he's looking a bit this way. Like Drell blue and maybe he'll be onto something. There's an idea. We're gonna keep it like that for now. Again, I'm probably gonna basically end up just drawing this, but again, and then I'll try to move him a bit. But I'll call this a second pass. I'll see if I figure out anything on the way. I don't think he's wide enough right now. Need more width, buddy. I do imagine that he's currently single, maybe was married at one point. But Funry probably tries to set him up on dates and stuff that he is not interested in. Gonna mute because I'm playing Fortnite with friends. Have fun drawing. Have fun playing Fortnite. Maybe get an awesome victory royale. Not just like a normal one, but one that's like especially notable. If you had a notable victory royale, even though I assume you're muted and cannot hear me right now, but if you get an especially notable victory royale, be sure to come and share. I think Drell's a guy who's he's overly serious, but I do think he is actually probably easily flustered in regular social situations, also romantic situations. I think Funry's good at pressing his buttons. So tomorrow I'm gonna be away until about Wednesday. By about Wednesday, I mean I'll be back on Wednesday. and I'll stream when I get back, unless something catastrophic has happened. You can assume the worst if I'm not here. And I think I'll probably take a break from these guys and do like fan art. Or you guys gave me some ideas the other night for streams. I might do something showing my process of studying and taking shapes from artists and how I apply that. But I think right now I'm probably just gonna do some fan art thing. Which hopefully that'll be fun. Hopefully you guys still remember me by then. I haven't lost all my awesome momentum from 3 straight days of streaming, which is extremely impressive for me. Trio, you asked, what kind of music do I listen to? I listen to quite a variety. Lately, who am I a big fan of? I've listened to the new Olivia Rodrigo, which I did like quite a bit. Big fan of hers. I'm listening to Julia Jacklin. Yeah, I'm often listening to her. I listen to Pink Panthers a lot. So this is painting a picture of the type of artist I'm into. But I also have listened to a lot of hip-hop. I listen to I don't know, everything. I'll get on all sorts of kicks. I don't think anything very niche. Let's see. Let me pull open Spotify on my phone and see what has been recent. They Might Be Giants, Flood. I listen to a good amount of K-pop, which probably fits. I was listening to My Chemical Romance a lot not long ago. I've actually not been listening to as much music as I do sometimes. I've kind of been home a lot, so I've been listening to music in the car much. When I am in the car, I'll often opt for a podcast a lot of the time recently. Really should get a reference for this arm in this pocket, but I'm not. Irresponsibly, I am not doing that. Been watching some shows. I just finished a rewatch of Community, which is one of my favorites. My favorite comedies are between that and 30 Rock. I'm a big fan of the both of them. I also just finished, because it literally just wrapped yesterday, I watched Not Suitable for Work, which is a new Hulu show that Will Angus was on, which is cool if you're familiar with him from what is it, Almost Friday. I think he's very funny. I think this show was solid. Not a must-watch. You don't have to close the stream to run and get on it right now, but it was. I enjoyed it. It's kind of about rich people in New York. I'm watching Twin Peaks. It might be Twin Peak. Yeah, Twin Peaks is awesome. Twin Peaks is so sick. That show's for weirdos. I only watch anime. That's pretty cool too. Last anime I watched was You and I Are Polar Opposites, and it was super cute. I liked it a lot. I was familiar with it for quite a while, and I didn't watch it because I looked at the cover and I thought, well, this is probably just the exact same thing as My Dress Up Darling. I love My Dress Up Darling. One of my favorite things ever. And I wrote it off because I was like, well, it probably is just doing what My Dress Up Darling does, and it probably does it worse. But actually, it does its own thing, and it's really good. It's really cute. So, that's a fun show. I think the problem is I'm not, this coat being straight down doesn't actually help sell that he has his hand in his pocket. When you put your hand in a coat pocket, it pushes things. Also, I made this line before thinking about what his arm is actually doing. So you know what? Let's go to the red layer. And let's actually think about his shoulder. Okay, so if you were drawing his arm actually extended, his hand would just be to, like, here. So the segments of his arm are not particularly long. And then, I mean, if we literally just took this, pushed it out a bit, and then took the lower arm in. Where are we at? And his coat would be pushed out a bit. It's pulled back. It still is wrapping all the way around him. And it wraps back here. Again, I should use reference. His arm probably should not be extended all this way. You have this, and then it's coming forward a bit. We played Evangelion music from Evangelion 64 in the stream last night, and it didn't get copyright struck on the VOD. Yet, at least. So I think we might be safe for that. So the Evangelion 64 music is staying in the playlist. What was my reaction to the hospital scene in the end of Ava? I think the one they want you to have. It's gross. I mean, that's the whole idea, is that it's gross, it's shocking, it's Shinji at his absolute lowest point. And I think it's a very effective, strong, memorable scene for that. But yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy. I love Evangelion though. That is my favorite thing ever. I one idea for a stream I have is just to draw from and talk about my favorite things ever. And there would definitely be some Ava discussion in there, because it is my single favorite thing ever created. And it'll be fun, because I love talking about things that I like. So if you have any questions about things that I like, I will answer. AMA. One second, I actually am looking up a little bit of reference of some kind for the sleeve. That's what a good artist would do. What is the worst fighting game I have ever played? That's a good question. We, at our local, we play, we do a mystery game every week. So I've played a lot of bad games. What? Ronka, do you remember any mystery games that I like really hated? Because I know there are some, and I'm not thinking of them right now. I don't know if that's the most interesting answer, though, to say something that no one's ever heard of. So what about drama? What about something a little bit more relevant that I didn't like? I don't think I'm the type of person who can claim that something that is big is bad, because I just assume any popular relevant fighting game is somebody's favorite fighting game, so I think every fighting game is pretty good. But what is one that really stunk for me? I'm popping open Steam. What don't I like? I mean, I was talking about multiverses earlier. Obviously, I didn't come to the conclusion that that game is very good, but also I played quite a lot of it because I thought there was something there, and there were things that I had fun with. I liked the roster. I like the art direction, even if in practice it didn't look that great. Man, fighting games are awesome though. What if they're all good? I'm not a big Melty Blood guy, I don't think. That's probably the most popular game that I've never been able to click with. I don't think it's bad. I think it's cool even. But I can't get behind any of the characters. I've never read or done anything with Tsukihime, so I have no connection there. So just from a basic thing, I think some of them look cool, but I've never really connected with anything that's going on in. How did the playlist end? It's the same playlist. I've only been streaming for an hour. How did it end? What the heck? Yeah, even then, I don't have any hate in my bones for any fighting game really. So I guess Melty Blood is the one that I connected with the least, which is the closest thing I can say to the worst. I don't know. Veronica will find some game that no one's ever heard of that I actually hated. Those ones I'm happier to say I don't like and are bad because they're like basically not even real. Dragon Master Violent Vengeance MGCM Combat Edition, Combate Mexicano, and Phantom Breaker Omnia. I remember Phantom Breaker Omnia. I remember expecting that game to be pretty fun, and it was, like, not. Not to me, at least. But maybe you love it. Again, I can't. I don't know. Everything's cool. Oh, that Kamen Rider one was pretty horrible. What was that Kamen Rider one called? It was a stupid Kamen Rider game. It had this stupid mechanic where you had like supers that were on cards or something, and you could just activate them, and no matter where you were on screen, it would just the super would happen and you'd be getting hit by it now. And in between the unblockable cutscene supers, the game sucked all in between that too. It felt bad, it was slow. And then you couldn't even play. You couldn't even play the bad footsies because you were too busy not being allowed to do anything ever. So that game was not amazing. I ended up not using reference for the sleeve. I just drew squiggly lines to fill in for wrinkles that are actually thought through at all. Now, if you want to talk about my favorite fighting games, no one asked, but like, what if someone did perchance want to know about my favorite fighting games, I would answer. I would say my favorite fighting game ever is Skullgirls, for obvious reasons, because Skullgirls looks the way it does and it plays the way it does. Everything is sick about it. I'm not particularly good at Skullgirls, but I've played a lot of it, and I think not being that good at it is, I don't know if that is a bad thing. I think being a casual fan of a fighting game is pretty cool, because you don't have to run into as annoying of things. I can like Miss Fortune because she's cool and not have to deal with what it feels like to play against Miss Fortune. Because to me, she's just another cool cat. What's my favorite FPS? That's a good question. I am not the biggest FPS guy, but when I do play one, I love to play one where you can move. So my favorite FPS, my usual answer, which is probably true, is Titanfall 2. Because that is definitely a game that lets you move, and while I'm not the biggest FPS guy, I love big robots. That game is one of the coolest games ever, and Respawn gunplay is so good. That game is awesome. It's got a great campaign. It's got a great look. That's my favorite. But I like Quake. I like Paladins, Champions of the Realm. If we've got any Paladins heads in the chat. That's probably one of my that might be my most played first-person shooter. Over the pandemic, our group played a lot of Paladins. And that's the kind of game that when you're playing a lot of Paladins and you tell people, hey, you should play Paladins with us, people think you're like making a joke, especially if they play like Overwatch or something. They think you're joking, but it's like, no, it's actually awesome. You love Paladins? Hell yeah. Yeah, I have such good memories with Paladins. We played so much of it, and I gotta show you what is really our secret sauce when it comes to making Paladins awesome. Let me pull it up. Okay. So the secret, what really hit about Paladins was this playlist. Is by this guy called Ozaworld, and he made a bunch of parody songs about Paladins, and no joke, we listened to this playlist every single time we played Paladins. If I look on my Steam, I look at Paladins, I have exactly 200 hours. And in all of those 200 hours, we were listening to these songs in a watch together. I mean, wrong one. This one's alright, but this is the peak.
Remember my name. Lawmaker, you're meeting the undertaker. See you later when tribunal judges rule against your favor. I'm a interrogator, skate the line for what is greater, or to catch the perpetrator whilst I'm looking like Darth Vader. Call it justice, but I guess God is above this. It's evil, evil.
I mean, it's awesome, dude. Look at the animation on Pip in this video. There's one part in particular that is important we get to.
Yeah, got a sweet potion gun with weightless on. It's a lot of fun. Evil Mojo is his ultimate. Now you're a chicken dude. You're a chicken dude.
That's the stuff. I mean, it's obviously it's dumb. But this was such a big part of the pandemic for us, was playing Paladins and listening to these songs for hundreds of hours. So I'd recommend it. Paladins is still up somehow for some reason. So I'd give it a shot, and I put these on while you're doing it. Okay, now I'm gonna draw again. I'm sorry for taking so long because Paladins came into mind. Sounds like the dumbest fun time ever. It really was. And it still kind of is. We on Paladin's birthday, we still boot it up. And we will as long as the servers are still running. Alright, we need to do something with his face. Mainly it's that hair thing that I've been talking about. His face is the one thing that's been consistent. And his face is why Funry needed to be a bit cartoonier than she was. That's pretty much the stuff. I think I need to round this off for his forehead. Okay, so I want some hair at the hairline. and then it's receding back. And then he's got hair on the sides of his head still. We need a gap here. What's their name? This guy's name is Drell Freely. Or Drell. He's a detective. And that's why he's got a name that no real human being would ever have, but you know, it kind of sounds like a detective in a novel. And then her name, they're partners. Her name's Funry, because it's funny, but with one letter that's different. And I think maybe this is too forward. Maybe his hairline needs to be receding more. How long did it take for you to come up with those names? It's funny because it's not exactly that I came up with them for these characters. It's their names that I had that I just thought of. Drell Freely is a name that I just was driving and that came into my head. And I wrote it down in my notes app at a stoplight, and then it sat there in the notes app until this guy came around, and then I was like, oh, well, that's Drell Freely. And Funry, I think the origin of Funry's name is this fighting game. I gotta find it on Steam. There's this fighting game called Core Up. Not Corrupt, but Core Upped. And Core Upped, yes, Core Upped has a character called Winry, but they have all their characters. Yeah, they got like their own fonts. And Winry, her font, it says Winry, but it really looks like Onery. And Funry is when I realized that if Funry came from Onery, or it was Winry, which I thought was Onery, and then I thought of Funry. And then what really solidified Funry is if you write funny in lowercase letters, then you just have to erase part of that, and it's an R now. So that's how Funry came around. That's what solidified it. Is this little, you can follow every step of the way, and it's when I realized how close it was to the word funny that it stuck. And then it was less that she had, it was less that she didn't have a name, and I drew her, and then eventually that stuck. It was more, the name Funry was in my head, and then I started drawing her, and that's how Funry came around. So she was name first and then became a character. He was a character and then the name found him. And now I need to look up some men with graying hair who have receding mid-length hair. I'm glad you like their names. Because of how I came up with their names, I have no idea if they are as charming as I think they are, or if they are just kind of stupid. And I'm sure there is plenty of room for there to be a mixture of the two things. But as long as charming is a healthy portion of that, then I'm happy. I'm into it. I like that they're completely new names. Yeah, I like that too. It's just, you know, it just is unique. I like feeling unique. Who doesn't? I think we need to move his collar a bit because I want to actually figure out what's going on with the back of his head too. Is that where that goes? The jaw? I guess, yeah. He's got the back of his head. Probably comes in there. Another reason I definitely have not drawn Drell as much as I've drawn Funry is because I'm always worried about spending time drawing just any dude to post on socials, because generally people who follow me because most of my output has been cute, cartoony girls. But I am glad that we got some people here that do enjoy this guy, because I like him a lot. And he's probably going to be fairly important to my creative output in the near future, and maybe the far future. I'm expecting Drill Freely to take me somewhere amazing. I expect to see an animated feature in the next few years. I think this is going to move fast. This is going to catch like wildfire, and quickly it's going to get picked up. It's gonna something's gonna happen. I don't have any skills to make this happen, but I imagine there's gonna be so many people knocking down my door that it's just gonna be the natural occurrence. You plan on making an animation series with them or something along the line of that? Love them both. I'm glad you love them. That would be super, super cool. It's definitely a pipe dream thing. I'm a huge animation guy. I love cartoons. I love the rise of indie cartoons. But it's so out of my scope of what I can do right now. Of course, I'm not much of an animator. I've done a little bit, but not near enough to really even complete a, what do you call it, to complete an animatic or something like that. It's something I could do, of course, but it's just something that I'm not sure the path I would want to take that in. But a comic is something I've been working towards for quite a while as a passion. Even though I have not posted a ton of comics, that is something I've always wanted to make. So that's where they're starting. And then me and my friend Veronica, Tony Garbage in the chat, we're also planning on making a simple but hopefully cool RPG Maker game for these guys. Yeah, Dom, I've still been thinking about doing a project like that together. I'm very excited about the idea. So whenever we've both got some time, we can talk about that again. Adult Swim and Glitch Productions are going to be knocking on your door in exactly 2 years. That I'm starting the countdown right now. By next June, I will be 10 short years away from this coming out. I do hope by this time next year I have completed a chunk of their story, whether it is by having a decent bit of a comic done or by getting that game made. I want people sooner than later to have a reason to get connected to these guys. Friend Rio would totally play your guys' game when it's ready. Maybe if you ask, you can play test. We probably will need people to play test when it gets to that state. Well, I'm glad there's some interest. I think it'll be funny. That's the main thing I'm looking for with a little RPG, is for it to be funny. I think I can pull off funny. I mean, what could be funnier than this? Her name is funny. So that's a slam dunk right there. Look at this platypus I drew. That's a funny guy would draw a platypus like this. Doing voice acting for the game. I'd love to voice one of the characters. I don't think we've thought much about sound and stuff like that, but we might. That'd be fun. Yeah, if we ever get around into that idea of doing voice acting at all, definitely tweet something out and we'll see what we can find out there. And of course, if and when that awesome Drill for Elite TV show comes around, we'll need voices for that too. Looking at this guy right now, main thought, head could be smaller. Alright, well I kind of took my time. Ended up, I meant to just do a bunch of quick casual doodles, but I ended up taking an hour and a half just drawing a admittedly very cute little Funry, and then pretty similar standing pose for this guy. But I do think I'm gonna pop off for the night. I only meant to go for about an hour. Now, I'm not going to be back until next Wednesday night, but I will be back on that Wednesday night, which I guess some would call 1 week from now. In the meantime, I'll be away from home, but I think I'll try to do some more doodles of these guys in my sketchbook. And I'll post some of that online. Maybe I'll post it in the YouTube feed too. That would make sense. If I'm doing stuff on YouTube, I've seen some people post art on the YouTube community feed or whatnot. Maybe I'll do that. But if you want to see that, you want to see the other stuff I'm doing, and you're not already, you can feel free to subscribe. Or you can follow me on Twitter, which is in the comments. I also have other accounts that are probably not linked there, but maybe they're linked in the other part of the thing. I'm glad you all were here. I appreciate it quite a lot. And I hope I see all of you next week when I can be back. And we'll probably draw some fan art or something. Show you guys my process of how I'd go about doing fan art, and it's also just fun. I need to draw more fan art, honestly. In Japan, so I'm only catching the ends of these. That's cool that you're in Japan. Are you from Japan? Do you live in Japan? Are you just visiting? One last question before we go. I don't know, that's just cool. For whatever reason you're in Japan, I hope you're having a good day. Living here for a bit, cool. Yeah, I hope you're having a good day. A good time in Japan in general. A little earthquake in the morning. Spooky. I don't get much for earthquakes around here. But hopefully not. I assume it's not too bad. I assume if it was too bad, you probably wouldn't just say little earthquake, haha. Unless you were if you were a badass, then obviously it would be extremely cool if there was a devastating earthquake and you're just like no big deal. So now I'm gonna go forward and just assume that you are kind of a badass. Okay, I'm gonna stop fiddling with this guy, and I'm gonna head off for the night. And I will see you guys next time. Here they are. Both of our characters and a platypus. And of course, the way that I end these streams is with a bear. Have a good night, y'all. Or morning, or wherever it is where you are.